I've worked as a nurse for nearly a decade, but nothing prepared me for what I experienced during those 6 months at St. Gertrude's Hospital. It was an old facility, originally built in the 1920s, tucked away in a quiet corner of the Midwest. Half the building had been renovated with modern tech and bright lights. The other half, closed off wings and abandoned floors, was a different story. The night shift always got the worst of it. Fewer staff, less supervision, and more of those long, echoing corridors where every creak felt like it had a story to tell. My assignment was mostly routine, checking vitals, administering meds, and making sure patients weren't wandering. I liked the quiet, until the night I saw her. It started subtly.
Week 1.
I was making rounds on the 3rd floor when I passed room 313. It was sealed. Always had been. A sign outside reads "No entry, structural damage." But I heard a faint tapping sound inside 3 knocks, slow and deliberate. I thought maybe someone had gotten in by mistake. I reported it to maintenance, but they found no one and said the door was locked tight. Probably just pipes, they shrugged. But the tapping continued every night after that. Always 3 knocks. Same rhythm.
Week 2.
A patient named Mr. Halber, an elderly man with late-stage Alzheimer's, started asking odd questions. "Do you see her too?" He'd whisper, gripping my arm. "The one in the white dress?" "Who?" I asked. "The girl," he said, eyes wide. "She waits in the corner by the elevator. Smiles like she's going to a party." Chalked it up to dementia, until another patient said the same thing. And then another. They all described her the same way. Long black hair, pale skin, wearing a white dress stained with something dark near the hem. Always smiling, always watching.
Week 3.
It was 3:21, a mean-quiet hour. I stepped out of the break room to refill my water bottle. That's when I saw her. At the far end of the hallway, just outside the locked wing, stood a girl. White dress, barefoot, head slightly tilted. I couldn't see her face clearly too far away, but I knew she was smiling. I froze. Nurses don't run, but my legs didn't get the memo. By the time security checked the feed, the hallway camera was mysteriously offline for exactly 3 minutes. They laughed it off. "You need sleep," they said. "Hallucinations are common on night shift."
Week 4.
Things escalated. One night, I entered room 308 to find all the lights flickering. The patient, a stroke victim who hadn't spoken in weeks, suddenly looked right at me and whispered, "She's under your bed." I backed out of the room. Didn't sleep when I got home. That same week, a janitor refused to clean the 3rd floor west wing. Said he heard humming coming from the vents like a lullaby. He quit 2 days later.
Week 5.
I started digging. One of the older nurses, Gloria, had worked there for over 30 years. I asked her about the girl. Gloria hesitated, then said, "You're not the first to see her. Back in the 90s, a young girl named Eliza was admitted after a terrible house fire. She was the only survivor. Her parents died. She had severe burns, but her mind was sharp. What happened?" "She died during surgery," Gloria said softly. Flatlined at 3:21 a.m. I felt ice run through my spine. The same time I saw her, I murmured. Gloria nodded. "They shut down that OR wing after. Said it brought bad energy." Week 6. I was assigned to sit with a suicidal patient overnight. The room had no sharp objects, no cords, nothing that could be used for harm. At 3:20 a.m., the lights cut out. Just a blink. When they came back on, the patient was standing in the corner, staring at the mirror. "She wants me to come with her," he whispered. "Who?" I asked, even though I already knew. "The girl in white." I pressed the emergency button. He was sedated and transferred. The psychiatrist said it was probably shared delusion or stress, but I knew better.
Week 7.
I started hearing her voice. Soft, innocent. "Play with me," she'd say. It would come from empty rooms, from vents, once from behind me in the medication room, where no one else was allowed. I stopped telling people. They either mocked me or worried I was cracking. I almost believed them. Almost. Final week. It was a Sunday night. I had picked up an extra shift. The hospital was unusually quiet. Around 3:15 a.m., all the alarms on the third floor went off at once. Heart monitors flatlined. 4 pumps beeped. Lights flickered. Then silence. I ran to the central console. Everything was normal. Patients were stable. No calls, no vitals lost. I turned around and there she was. Closer this time. Her face was pale, eyes black, and her mouth stretched into that unnatural grin. Her dress was soaked at the bottom, as if she had walked through blood. She tilted her head and said, "I remember you." I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, and then she vanished. Aftermath. I quit the next morning, packed my things, left no notice. Couldn't sleep for days. I kept seeing her in reflections, in the corner of my eye, in dreams. I eventually moved states, took a job at a clinic. No night shifts. But sometimes, when I'm alone after dark, I still hear her knock. 3 times. Slow, deliberate.